Kent State versus Ball State, the Mid-American Conference, takes center stage under the Muncie lights as Kent State, 3-5, 2-2 MAC, rolls into Schumann Stadium to face Ball State, 3-5, 2-2 MAC. It's a matchup that sits at the heart of the MAC's middle tier. Two programs with identical conference records searching for separation in a season defined by parity and unpredictability. The numbers tell an early story. Ball State enters with a 66.5% win probability, favored at home with the crowd behind them. But Kent State carries the edge of desperation, chasing momentum in a tight East Division race. Miami, Ohio, sits unbeaten in conference play. Buffalo is lurking close behind, and every possession now matters for those trying to stay relevant in November. This isn't just another MAC showdown. It's a test of identity. Ball State has flashed both resilience and inconsistency. Kent State, meanwhile, has mixed flashes of precision with frustrating lapses. When two 3-5 teams meet with postseason positioning on the line, pride often burns brighter than standings. And that's what's about to unfold on Wednesday night in Muncie. Both sides come in with numbers that reveal as much about their promise as their flaws. For Kent State, quarterback D. DeShields has been the engine of the offense. Through 8 games, he's completed 79 of 138 passes, tallying 1,109 yards, 11 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions. An efficient, confident line that highlights both decision-making and downfield poise. Behind him, running back G. Garcia has carved out 321 rushing yards on 88 carries with a touchdown. Not explosive, but steady enough to keep defenses honest. The aerial attack finds its heartbeat in C. Wolford, whose 395 receiving yards and 6 touchdown grabs on 15 receptions make him a legitimate red zone threat and one of the most efficient receivers in the MAC. Defensively, Kent State leans on Jay Mathis, whose 3 sacks have been pivotal in pushing opponents off schedule, and linebacker C. Young, who leads the team with 58 tackles, the kind of defensive presence that defines effort plays on 2nd and 3rd downs. Across the field, Ball State mirrors those foundations with slightly different strengths. Quarterback K. Kelly has thrown for 982 yards, connecting on 96 of 168 passes, with 6 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He's not as precise as DeShields, but he's dangerous when rhythm clicks. The true heartbeat, though, comes on the ground. Running back Q. Ashley has piled up 513 rushing yards on 101 carries, finding the end zone 4 times, a steady workhorse who sets the offensive tempo. The receiving core is led by Q. Magwood, whose 238 yards and 1 touchdown show flashes of versatility, particularly in short yardage or motion-based looks. Defensively, Ball State's edge presence has been felt thanks to N. Voorhees, who's already recorded 10 sacks, a number that jumps off the stat sheet and shapes how opposing quarterbacks operate in the pocket. Linebacker A. Chea anchors the middle with 45 tackles, reading gaps and supporting both run and pass coverage. Statistically and stylistically, this matchup looks like a clash between Kent State's balance and Ball State's physicality. The Golden Flashes build through rhythm passing, while the Cardinals prefer to dictate terms through their front 7 and running attack. It's finesse versus force, and the team that wins in the trenches will dictate everything else. Momentum often decides these mid-season duels, and both sides enter this one walking a thin line between revival and regression. Kent State's recent stretch has been a mixed bag. The Golden Flashes are 2-3 in their last 5 games, showing resilience but also inconsistency. They're coming off a 24-21 win over Bowling Green, a nail-biter that may have rekindled belief. Before that, though, the offense sputtered in a 45-10 loss to Toledo. Earlier, they notched a 42-6 blowout over UMass, showing their offensive ceiling when everything clicks. But those bright moments are balanced by setbacks. including a 44-0 defeat to Oklahoma and a 66-10 loss to Florida State, both exposing gaps in protection and depth against superior speed. Ball State, too, has lived the roller coaster. Their last 5 show the same 2-3 record, but the tone is different. They're coming off a 21-7 loss to Northern Illinois, where the offense couldn't sustain drives. But a week earlier, they looked sharp in a 42-28 win over Akron, a game that saw the running game dominate and the defense swarm. Their inconsistency, however, surfaced again in a 42-0 loss to Western Michigan, before bouncing back with a hard-fought 20-14 defeat to Ohio and an early season stumble against UCNNT, 31-25. In short, both teams have shown bursts of dominance followed by prolonged droughts. Kent State's offense is more balanced. Ball State's defense is more punishing. But neither team has strung together complete games. That's why this matchup carries such weight. It's not just about who's better on paper, it's about who finally plays a full 60 minutes. The quarterbacks are the mirror through which both teams' seasons can be seen. DeShields has been calm and efficient for Kent State. With 1,109 yards, 11 touchdowns, and only 2 picks, his 79 for 138 completion line translates to a 57% completion rate, but more importantly, a touchdown-to-interception ratio that screams control. He's the kind of quarterback who doesn't force throws, relying on timing routes and disciplined reads. When DeShields gets rolling, the Golden Flash's tempo stabilizes. Short slants, play-action shots, and red zone composure all sync up. Kay Kelly, on the other hand, represents risk and rhythm. His 96 completions on 168 attempts yield a 57% clip as well, but the 6-to-5 TD to INT ratio shows a different narrative, one of aggressiveness that can cut both ways. Kelly's arm talent isn't in question, but his decision-making has been inconsistent. When he gets time to throw, he can move the chains in bunches. When pressure collapses, however, he tends to force plays. This duel may decide everything. DeShields' precision and Kelly's volatility are opposites, but both carry the weight of their offenses. If Kent State protects its quarterback, the passing rhythm could dictate pace. If Ball State's front, led by Voorhees, collapses the pocket, Kelly's offense will get more possessions and momentum will flip fast. Schumann Stadium will be the proving ground for trench warfare. Ball State's defensive front, anchored by Voorhees, is the unit that can tilt this contest. 10 sacks through 8 games isn't just productive, it's game-changing. If he and the linebackers can get to DeShields early, it will disrupt Kent State's short passing rhythm and neutralize Wolford's deep threat. On the flip side, Kent State's offensive balance could be the great equalizer. Garcia's ground production, though modest at 321 yards, forces defenses to stay honest. If he can find lanes early, play-action opportunities will open up, particularly on intermediate routes where Wolford thrives. Defensively, the Golden Flashes must key on Q Ashley. His 513 rushing yards show that he's the heartbeat of Ball State's tempo. Kent State's front 7, led by Mathis and Young, will need to win first down and funnel runs inside. If Ashley gets rolling, he can grind out clock, limit possessions, and allow Kelly to pick his spots rather than chase points. Another key lies in discipline. Both teams hover around the same win-loss mark for a reason: miscues. Missed tackles, dropped passes, and penalties have turned potential wins into frustrating losses. The team that cleans up those mistakes will own the field position battle. In a matchup this evenly balanced, attention to detail becomes everything. Execution on third down, smart clock management, and avoiding self-inflicted setbacks could easily determine which sideline walks away with momentum and confidence restored. Weather and environment could favor Ball State slightly. Muncie's November chill, a likely 10-degree forecast, and home crowd energy make it tougher for Kent State's passing rhythm to flourish. But the Golden Flash's resilience on the road, highlighted by their strong showing at Bowling Green, suggests they won't fold easily. Expect early emphasis on ground control and short throws to offset the cold conditions, as both teams battle not only each other but the elements, where discipline, stamina, and special teams execution could quietly decide the outcome. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Ball State winner. Special teams, too, can't be ignored. In tight, grinded-out MAC contests, a single field goal or field position flip can decide outcomes. Expect both coaches to lean conservative early, testing for weak points before opening up the playbook. This one has the feel of a tug-of-war, a game where every third down feels like a turning point. Both teams sit 3-5, both are 2-2 in the MAC, and both have reasons to believe their best football still lies ahead. But the edges tell the story. Ball State's defensive line gives them a tangible advantage. 10 sacks from Voorhis and consistent tackling from Chia form the spine of a defense built for physical games. Combine that with home field advantage and a more consistent running game, and the Cardinals look just a bit steadier heading into this one. Kent State will hang around. DeShield's accuracy and Wolford's touchdown knack will keep it tight, perhaps even giving the Golden Flashes an early lead. But as the game wears on, Ball State's ground game and defensive pressure should take over. Final score, Ball State 27, Kent State 20. The Cardinals' balance and defensive grit carry the night in Muncie. Kent State fights, flashes, and frustrates, but Ball State finishes. Northern Illinois versus Toledo, the lights of the Glass Bowl will burn bright as Toledo hosts Northern Illinois in a critical Mid-American clash that could shape the mid-tier balance of the conference race. Toledo stands at 4-4 overall, 2-2 in the MAC, a team fighting to rise back into contention after a stretch of uneven play. Northern Illinois arrives limping at 2-6, 1-3 in the MAC, searching for an identity, a rhythm, and perhaps redemption after a turbulent start to 2025. The odds paint a decisive picture. Toledo carries an 85.8% chance to win, while Northern Illinois clings to just 14.2%. But college football thrives on the improbable, and this matchup holds the quiet tension of two programs desperate for traction. For Toledo, the mission is simple: stabilize. They're in the thick of a crowded MAC pack, sitting behind Central Michigan, Ohio, Western Michigan, and Buffalo, all chasing Miami OH at the top. For Northern Illinois, pride and persistence are the motivators now. At 2-6, the Huskies have little left to lose, which makes them dangerous. They'll take the field knowing every possession, every drive, every defensive stand carries weight beyond the standings. It's about finishing strong, about proving they can punch above their record. That hunger meets Toledo's need for control, creating a compelling Saturday showdown. Toledo brings balance, efficiency, and big play potential. Quarterback Tucker Gleason has thrown for 1,721 yards on 140 completions with 13 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions, steady numbers that show poise and a willingness to push downfield. His connection with Jay Vandersoss III has been the heartbeat of the Rockets' offense. Vandersoss leads the team with 608 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns on 52 catches, a consistent vertical threat capable of punishing soft coverage or broken containment. Complementing the aerial assault is running back C. Trayanum, a versatile weapon with 601 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns across 103 carries. When the ground game is working, Toledo's offense feels fluid, dangerous, and difficult to contain. Northern Illinois fights through growing pains but has bright spots in its offensive structure. Quarterback Jay Holst has managed 602 passing yards on 73 completions with 4 touchdowns against 3 interceptions. Numbers that don't leap off the page but suggest grit behind a struggling line. Running back T. Johnson Jr. anchors the Huskies' offense, carrying 93 times for 581 yards and 3 scores, averaging over 6 yards per touch when he finds daylight. Wideout D. Rogers adds 439 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns on 38 catches, offering a dependable route runner with reliable hands. The Huskies lack explosive consistency, but their trio provides the base to challenge Toledo if protection holds. Defensively, both teams have identities forming through effort and resilience. Northern Illinois linebacker Q. Erweiler leads the charge with 97 tackles, a tackling machine who's the emotional engine of the defense. He's complemented by F. Matsiorowski's 2.5 sacks up front, helping to generate pressure when coverage holds. Toledo counters with speed and discipline. Linebacker K. Sherman has recorded 56 tackles, while defensive end M. Davis has notched 4.5 sacks, providing crucial edge disruption. Toledo's front seven has the potential to dominate the trenches if Northern Illinois' offensive line falters under pressure. That battle inside will define tempo. If Toledo controls it, the Rockets dictate everything. Momentum tells an intriguing story. Northern Illinois enters with a fractured pattern. A 21-7 win over Ball State gave brief hope, but before that came a 48-21 defeat to Ohio, a 16-10 grind against Eastern Michigan, a 25-14 loss to Miami, Ohio, and a 6-3 stumble versus San Diego State. Their recent outings reveal a defense capable of limiting damage, but an offense still searching for rhythm. Scoring under 21 points in 4 of their last 5 games underscores that offensive strain. They're not getting blown out, but they're not finishing drives. The Huskies have been close, competitive, but closeness doesn't move the standings. Toledo's past month mirrors a roller coaster. A 28-7 loss to Western Michigan stung, especially after a 45-10 dismantling of Kent State that suggested momentum. Before that came a 28-23 loss to Bowling Green, a 45-3 rout of Akron, and a 14-13 heartbreak against Western Michigan. The Rockets have oscillated between dominance and disarray, capable of dismantling opponents one week and faltering the next. When their offense clicks, they're nearly unstoppable. When protection breaks or turnovers mount, they crumble under self-inflicted wounds. That inconsistency keeps them from MAC elite status and keeps this matchup alive for Northern Illinois. Still, Toledo's pattern shows bursts of rhythm that Northern Illinois has yet to match. The Rockets have scored over 40 points twice in their last 4 games. Evidence of offensive firepower, while Northern Illinois has reached 20 just once in that span. The contrast in scoring efficiency and red zone execution looms large. At the center of it all lies the quarterback duel. J. Holst versus T. Gleason, 2 passers at different ends of the confidence spectrum. Holst's 73 of 117 completion rate reflects solid accuracy, but only 4 touchdowns to 3 interceptions tell a tale of cautious play, struggling protection, and conservative scheming. Gleason, meanwhile, embodies the modern MAC quarterback, fearless, rhythm-based, and confident throwing into tight windows. His 13 touchdowns to 5 picks show a command of tempo and field vision, balancing aggression with control. Gleason's ball placement on intermediate routes allows Vandersoss to exploit mismatches, while his pocket awareness keeps drives alive under duress. Holst's path is tougher. Against a Toledo defense that's aggressive off the edges, he'll need composure and timing. Quick reads, decisive slants, and balanced play action will be key. If he forces throws into tight coverage, Toledo's secondary, opportunistic and disciplined, will capitalize. The Huskies' best offensive hope lies in establishing Johnson Jr. early, forcing Toledo to respect the run and opening play-action lanes downfield. Gleason, conversely, has the advantage of home rhythm and better protection. Expect him to test Northern Illinois' corners deep early, probing for separation and setting the tone. When the tactics settle, the matchup tilts toward Toledo's line strength and offensive balance. The Rockets' ability to generate push up front sets up everything, from Trayanum's downhill burst to Gleason's deep play action. Their defensive front, led by Davis and Sherman, thrives on collapsing pockets and forcing hurried throws, a formula tailor-made against an offense like Northern Illinois that struggles with tempo. For the Huskies, the formula to survive lies in discipline. Limit turnovers, sustain drives, and win field position. If Erweiler and Maciejowski can anchor a few key third-down stops, they can slow the game to their liking. But that's easier said than done inside the glass bowl. Toledo's offense feeds off home energy, averaging significantly higher yardage and conversion rates in Toledo than on the road. Their red zone attack is methodical, often finishing drives with Trayanum's physical runs or Gleason's rollout strikes. Expect Vandersauce to draw double coverage early, opening up secondary options in the slot and on the perimeter. Northern Illinois must play tight coverage and keep safeties disciplined. Any lapse in assignment could result in 6 points before halftime. Weather might play a subtle factor. With temperatures dipping into single digits, ball security becomes paramount. Cold air could tighten grip and shorten flight on deep passes, placing emphasis on short game efficiency. That slightly favors Toledo, whose offense thrives on rhythm and precision, whereas Northern Illinois often needs explosive plays to compensate for inconsistency. Field conditions, too, may test special teams, the unsung deciding phase in many MAC duels. Whichever team handles those details with poise will hold the edge late. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Toledo winner. X factors abound. For Toledo, C. Trayanum's balance of power and agility could wear down a Huskies defense that's been on the field too long in recent weeks. For Northern Illinois, D. Rogers' ability to win contested catches may provide the spark they desperately need. Defensively, Erweiler must anchor discipline, keeping the middle lanes clean and preventing Trayanum from dictating pace. If Toledo's front seven dominates, it could be a long night for Holst and company. When the final whistle blows, execution and composure should tell the story. Toledo, despite inconsistency, carries the superior depth, balance, and confidence at home. Their offense has shown the ability to recover quickly from setbacks, while their defense thrives when playing with a lead. Northern Illinois, meanwhile, has grit but lacks the explosive firepower to sustain drives against Toledo's layered defense. Expect moments of resistance. Erweiler's tackles, Johnson's runs, Rogers' catches, but over 4 quarters, the Rockets' efficiency should prevail. Toledo 31, Northern Illinois 14. The Rockets take care of business behind Gleason's steady hand and Trayanum's relentless ground game, regaining MAC momentum and solidifying their climb back toward the conference's upper half. Northern Illinois battles with heart, but can't match the sustained tempo or precision of a Toledo team that knows exactly what's at stake. Command, confidence, and the chase for November redemption.